Hello there, fellow adventurers. This is my first video of 2022, which is a bit of a late start, but I've been busy taking care of my old mom in England. You might have seen her in the Dark Seed videos as well as I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. She didn't really feel like doing another video this time though. Hey Mom?
Yes?
Remember those videos that we did before on Dark Seed?
Oh yes, I remember.
Oh, okay. Would you like to do another video like that right now?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Because they take up too much time, I'm too old, and I'm too tired, and I can't be bothered.
Today we're looking at games developed by Cosmic Void, the first of which is Blood Nova, an upcoming adventure that just happens to be launching on Kickstarter tomorrow. The demo is available on Steam and introduces us to our protagonist, Princess Love, who is about to assume the throne as ruler of the galaxy, a responsibility that she's reluctant to take on. This allows for some interesting character development right from the start, as Love has to face her destiny with the help of her bestie Kel. They're hanging out watching the stars when the space station they're on is suddenly overrun by some kind of deadly gas that kills everyone on board, and Kel will soon succumb to the infection as well if we don't find an antidote quickly. Looks like Princess Love will have to do some growing up faster than she expected, and we're here to help her grow. One of the rites of passage we must go through is searching all the dead bodies for items, which earns us the honorary title of Thief of the Dead. The demo sets up the game's characters and atmosphere perfectly, as well as hinting at what's going on in the world beyond on the other side of the Star Channel. There's also a nearby moon inhabited by flying cats, and I'll be very disappointed if they don't appear in the finished game. I'd also like to see a side quest where you have to find all the posters of this guy who calls himself Max Lionstar, then maybe go on a cosmic date with him as a reward, or just make him our royal servant. The strangest thing that happens is that at some point we hear a voice in our head that appears to be coming from a snow globe. Could this be a cosmic snowman from the planet Frisia? We'll have to wait until the expected release date later this year to find out. Another Kickstarter project that I backed as well as beta tested is The Corruption Within, which has a totally different setting to Blood Nova. We're spending time in the country with our family when they mysteriously disappear, and when we go looking for them we find a blue guy hanging from a noose. This is all very ominous, and we're invited to the nearby mansion by Lady Charlotte, who doesn't look suspicious at all, and we can rest assured that everything's hunky-dory here.
Not!
So begins our search for our missing family in and around the mansion. Being an architect, we naturally have our own opinions about the mansion's interior design, which results in some interesting descriptions. Some of the paintings on the walls are pixel versions of Kickstarter backers, such as fellow YouTuber Scarfulu, Twitch streamer Farrell the Feral, and game developer Stephen Don. Hey, this guy looks familiar. One of the characters we meet is also modeled on Lake Kubilius, who keeps turning up in adventure games, most recently in St. Kotar.
Lake Kubilius.
There are plenty of people to talk to, all with their own quirky personalities and motivations, which comes across despite the lack of voice acting. They also have their own dialect and use old words such as half-rats, meaning drunk, and chuckaboo, meaning a close friend. The talk icon is a giant mouth, and I just can't resist doing this. There are several times when you need to make a decision about what to do next, the outcome of which is revealed at the end of the game. For example, we can decide to either leave this purple plant alone or take it back with us. This gives the game some replayability, although I'd have liked to see some extra screens at the end to illustrate the outcome rather than just text. The game has quite an unsettling atmosphere and makes you feel like there's something lurking beneath the surface. In other words, The Corruption Within, which I think is a perfect title. If you like exploring old houses with plenty of secrets to discover and paintings of familiar pixelated adventurers, then The Corruption Within is your chuckaboo. The last game I'd like to cover is Void Breach, which opens with some intense toothbrushing. With our teeth clean, we're ready to travel through a time rip into another dimension in search of our daughter, who disappeared in the rip 225 days ago. So what have we been doing all this time? Brushing our teeth? We're transported to a kaleidoscopic world that feels a lot like a classic Sierra game, especially this scene with a mermaid that's a homage to King's Quest II, although the mermaid here looks a bit more provocative with those sea melons on display. We can also explore under the sea, but instead of riding on a giant seahorse, we turn into an octopus. The character portraits are honestly really weird looking. This is apparently a sea witch because she has a pointy hat, and I think this is supposed to be Neptune, though it could also be a member of the Blue Man group. Looking at this dryad, I feel like Cosmic Void might have a thing for half-naked women, so that's another thing I'm expecting in Blood Nova, along with the flying cats and Max Lionstar fan service. One of my favourite encounters is with Bart the talking tree stump, who just begs to be voice acted. Bart the Almighty, the toughest bark in the wood. Bart the Amazing, the seedling that could. Another memorable moment is having our way blocked by a giant girl with a lolly, and no, we can't just walk around her, cause that would be too easy, and not the actions of a true adventure gamer. This world is a real delight to explore, my main issue being that there's too much backtracking through the same locations. Eventually, we find our way back to reality, which looks pretty shitty in comparison to the fantasy world we just came from. Let's just go back to kissing megalicious mermaids.
And don't forget to back Blood Nova on Kickstarter. The destiny of the galaxy depends on it.